Welcome to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Trying something a little different. Hello, Katie Camara. Hello, Crystal Gover. I don't know if we know each other, but blessings. Kelly, Rena. Let me do a little refreshing here. Try that again. There we go. Welcome to Center of Light Foundation. Right up there. We are the tribe. We are the nation. Tonight we're speaking about consciousness and the great shift of it. So what am I doing a little different? I'm changing things around, moving things around. Speaking of moving around, move that around just a little bit. I'm playing the music a little loud on purpose. I like the drone, I like the vibe, it keeps me in the energy. So that's what I'm gonna do for now, at least for a while. It feels good. Versus something just in the back. Or something in the front. Music is driving. Kelly says she's having a rough time. I feel you, sister. Not trying to trivialize your situation whatsoever. It's still a process of letting go. It's precious, I understand. Because you are precious, I definitely understand that. So, it's in the letting go. We all have our grieving period. Just know that that is in the back as a momentum pushing you towards your consciousness. Your great shift. Sweetheart, you're welcome. You owe me nothing. Well, I just lied to you. You do owe me something. You owe me your happiness. And I mean, you owe me your happiness. I just want to see you flower versus be devoured. consciousness, the great shift. The music good and the vocal good. Can you hear the music nice and punchy? This helps me to get nice and crunchy. If you have not been told yet, let me be the first or one of the first to say, Happy Holidays. Happy Holidays. Without purpose, man does not live well. Purpose is the reason for anything. It is the force that drives everything. How to transform the ego. When you use the ego to help others, your ego is transformed into purpose. Hello, Rachel Acree. For without ego, can there be no purpose? Without ego, there can be no purpose. Ego is the driver of the car who has a purpose to go somewhere. Spirit doesn't have to go anywhere because it's here. This is what we're talking about tonight. Awareness and consciousness. They're umbrella terms, they shake hands in a general context. But there is a significant difference between the two. Consciousness is always behind the scene. Awareness is always in front of the scene, but when awareness turns within itself, then they bridge, and then you have conscious awareness. So you see, the ego has a very valuable role. Om Sri Saram Guru Devadatta, come inside of my being, pour your liquid love, light, and grace. From soul to bones, let it show on my face. This is my calling. God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, all that is good. A phenomenal ice cream sandwich, a nice slice of pizza, whatever that is. Bring it into me so much so that I lose my awareness of what I thought was myself as the one who's the observer, which is the true self. That is consciousness. Are you conscious of your speaking? If not, you are just talking. When you pray to God for yourself, dear God, I'm asking kind of thing. When you pray to God for yourself, be willing to fall into your ignorance to be found in truth. Again, I asked, no one responded. If you would please, is the music and my voice okay? Kind of intermingling? Someone give me a thumbs up. All I need is one. Moving on. Again, tonight's presentation, Rachel says, great. Thank you, dear. It means a lot to me. I'll send you an extra prayer biscuit when I go to sleep. Tonight's presentation is about becoming liberated. Understanding yourself as awareness and one who can potentially become so fully lit, blown aware that you melt into consciousness. Exactly like said differently with disciple and guru. Guru, ice cream cone, Jesus, Swamiji. Guru means the expeller of darkness. The idea is in such awareness of that which is beautiful in any aspect of our life, it becomes illuminating. All right, here we go. Are you conscious of your awareness? So tonight's deliberately going to split. We're going to dovetail back, but we're going to split first so we can understand the facts. What is the difference between conscious consciousness and awareness. Are you conscious of your awareness will ultimately lead you back to consciousness? Are you conscious of your awareness? In other words, I'm aware of my awareness. A shark swimming in the ocean is conscious. It's aware of its surroundings, but only so much peripherally. But is a shark in the ocean aware of its own sentientness? It is not. This is where our grace shines forever. We have the potential to not only be consciously aware of that, we can begin to move into the stream of that being for eternity, which never ends. So we're constantly imploding into these levels of ongoing expansion. Awareness is having the knowledge of something. I'm aware. Awareness is having the knowledge of something. Oh, that's a thing, and oh, that's another thing. And I understand all these things because I'm aware of my surroundings. On the other hand, consciousness is a state of being. I'm being. I'm here. I'm being. I'm not doing, I'm being. Being aware of something, and this can be regarded as more spiritual kind of definition. When a person is aware of something, he or she may feel it or just sense it without exactly knowing what it is. So consciousness sits here. Awareness sits here. Doesn't mean awareness is the monkey, because the monkey, the liar. It doesn't mean the monkey. It's a little deeper than the monkey. I'm just aware. That's one step. Then when you turn this in once, which is a power of 10, oh, I'm aware of this thing that I'm now aware of. Wow. And you feel this expansion, like your inner spiritual balloon has one of these. And you expand. And the more we become aware of our awareness, the more we groove, move, soothe into consciousness, which is the one that's behind the scene. Let us look at the suffix etymology, dictionary, all that learned grammatical stuff, academic stuff. Let's look at the suffix shun, like T-I-O-N, for instance, revolution, evolution, resolution, emotion, emote, emoting, shun, shun. Shun is a suffix used to form nouns and verbs, meaning a-ing or being. Let me say that again, because I know it sounded a little weird right off the top. Meaning a-ing, a-ing, or b-ing, being, as in relation. Something as in creation. This definition offers an insightful word picture. It indicates the active process from awareness to consciousness. The active process by which something is created, a noun, because of its actions, verbs being carried out. For the purpose of our discussion, Keith, my dialogue with spirit, shun represents evolution, that which occurs when something changes from one state of being and to another state of capital being, from awareness being to consciousness, capital being. Because humanity is expanding its collective consciousness, it is starting to spiritually evolve, thus becoming the manifestation of that very definition. Welcome to Center of Light Foundation. Happy holidays. Do you have any possible idea not only how much you are loved, but that you are love itself? You have any idea of that? Well, I do, Keith. Fantastic. Do we have an idea of that? So much so that it's your ongoing, ever-living, effervescent ideal about yourself. When so doing, we shift from awareness, so much so that it's turned within itself so much that it can no longer contain itself. It has to explode into another level of being from A-ing. We use awareness as a tool to consciousness. Consciousness is the engine. Consciousness is the engine. Awareness is the driver. Consciousness is the fire. Awareness is the one that is consumed in the conscious fire. Consciousness is always behind the scenes, and awareness is in the front. It's like a mullet haircut. Business in the front, business in the front, party in the back. So in the form of consciousness and awareness, awareness is in the front, consciousness is where the party is in the back. Consciousness is the one observing, and awareness is observing one. Consciousness is the one observing, and awareness is the observing one. It will take awareness to mend consciousness that has been interrupted. Awareness is the driver. Awareness is the taskmaster. It will take awareness to mend ourselves, to bring back yet again of the consciousness of ours, of really who we are, that has been interrupted. So you see, the this and the that, no, let me say that again, because the this and the that, this is the purpose of the Star of David, where the higher plateau and the lower plateau, higher plane and lower plane, come together in a shake hands deal. It's the marriage. It's the baby carriage, where the divine and the human are both birthed together. It's the manifestation of heaven on earth. Awareness of myself as a human being and not aware of anything else, are starting to move upward Jacob's ladder into consciousness. And in the heart, the sacred heart, is where it all goes down. Business in the front, party in the back. Welcome to Center of Light Foundation. We are the tribe, we are the nation of light bringers. We're the ambassadors of truth. It's etched on your heart. Every good deed about anyone, even yourself, we lead the way towards a greater manifestation of ourselves and everyone else that we bring along. Consciousness. What is consciousness? It's love, joy, peace, sharing, caring, praying. Is there anything else? Not really. What is consciousness? Love, joy, peace for other people, sharing, caring, praying. Is there anything else? You can add a few other to the ticket of the docket. But the rocket out of town is becoming consciously aware. And it has really nothing to do with all this spiritual ooh-ahing and ohming in spiritual woo-woo. But to fall in true spiritual woo-woo is to simply just be soft. you want to turn up the gas, then by all means, get in the fire and do other things, all the spiritual so-called requisite work. It helps monumentally. Consciousness, the great shift. We need it. It's happening. We need, quote, to become aware of what consciousness really is. So if I'm aware, I've been playing on the earth for however long I have been, it's really about me stepping back for a little while. And in this bridge, in this marriage, in this covenant, when push comes to shoving it, you will be loving it. That is your new life. Because you become the one who is able to channel vessel help. Prepare 2023 to become aware of consciousness will become a trend. You're going to have to get on this train to mend. No joke. It's going to exponentiate. It's going to grow into this greater possibility of whatever you choose it to be. Song break. That was the first time I said tonight. Proud of myself, yeah. How about to be one? We talked about being of service. Being of service is truly an act of deliberate consciousness.
Making one of 100 million pieces, making one of each and every heart, giving one love like you really mean it, seeing one in each other every day. Loving one is how to get to heaven. Sharing one, the love that you are. Hearing one, that little voice inside. Being one with all the people. Teaching one all the children about love. Lives to make a difference, caring for one who really needs a friend, opening kindness, receiving one, love that's your gift. Think as one, ends the separation. Being one saves the world. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart. Causing one to feel peace too. And that's the way.
Access granted.
We all have access. We use our awareness to gain access into consciousness. It's a gate. 11:11. It just happened. 11:11, stairway to heaven. Tonight is Center of Light, Foundation, Consciousness, the Great Shift. It's happening right now. We have the most ample sample example time to do what no other is able to do. Shave off eons of karmic rust, must, dirt, hurt. Good night. I'll see you soon. No joke. We're speaking about consciousness and the great shift of it. 2023, the year to make yourself right with your Lord. Whatever Lord you is, you follow. There's only one Lord. You may call it different names. So it's that year. This is where we are. My dialogue with Spirit many years ago about consciousness and awareness and the lightness and the differences therein. Spirit says, when you choose to live in external mode, this is what happens. You cross out all of your chances for eternity. And so the current of your life will go until you live the time when you're able to live in unbroken flow. If you honestly seek union with me, you must hold steadfastly to your intentions and be ever vigilant. When you achieve this life mode, your next death cycle will be a divine birth. Death will be the awareness of self being alive, the awareness of one transitioning, and the aware of the one who has passed. Consciousness is that which has always been there, that we go through the dance when we get the chance to be in that womb space garden. Because Keith, and all of you basically, because you have not fully realized that you are having a talk every day ongoingly, whether we know it or not, with God. Now that you have chosen to open up to the truth of who you are, you become my vessel, my channel, my vehicle. I could have not entered your consciousness, your awareness, any other way. That is the awareness I am speaking about. Just to be awareness is what allows consciousness to flow within your being without being obstructed. So it's not really about all these rituals, though rituals with the right intention and the right framework, infrastructure from the right platform will increase. To simplify, if you want to decrease your efforting, be joyful, loving, sharing, caring, prayer. This is all wisdom. This is living in the gate consciousness. Have you noticed how a heaviness comes over you when you look at a watch and realize there's something you feel you have to do that will take you away from your fun? And I ask, why? And Spirit responds, because your consciousness linked to God gets broken. The awareness that of I am Keith, connected to God, gets broken when you do something read that again. Because your consciousness linked to God gets broken when you do something you would not choose to do, but you feel you have to do it anyway. That is when you move from the eternal fun to dread on the time wheel. When this happens, it only means that you have shifted from your heart to your head, from love to fear. I ask you all, why would you not let God lighten your load and ease your earthly responsibilities? And I respond with this poor attempt: habit? And Spirit says, Keith, can you possibly be any more vague? And I said, well, that's what comes to mind. Here, Keith, let me help you. You are having to work so hard because you still carry the feeling left over from a childhood memory that you are not good enough. You still think you must prove yourself to others that you will come through in times of need. That is so Keith right now in this aspect of my life. I needed that kick in my pants. This kind of stuff has blocked Spirit's light, God's light, from entering from awareness or lack of into consciousness. Hauling these having to do burdens is why you still sometimes find yourself emotionally and physically exhausted. They call these ascension symptoms, but we find ourselves becoming exhausted. We sleep a lot longer, stranger times of the day. We don't sleep as much, stranger times of the night. It's all a part of what's happening. If you keep it up, in other words, becoming more lax in your wanting to become aware, if you keep it up, it is your body that will pay the price in the end. You must realize that you can serve me, God, in a far greater way than by trying to find love through approval. I need you not to find love, but to be it. This is your greatest responsibility, and I promise that meeting it will be no burden on you and will benefit everyone. Until then, if you should ever feel overloaded, do the exercise you just learned. That will bring you back to consciousness and into your heart. Dearest, why would you want to wait to come to what you call terms with any aspect of your life? Why not let your heart's rapid response team do the healing now? This is from my dialogue with Spirit many years ago. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. I need some water. Take a short break. Be right back. Tonight we're speaking about consciousness. What is it? Where is it? How is it? Very simple, powerful, required questions. Not to seek out the answer, but in the question itself is the answer. So the question is purposeful. There's a purpose. There's a purpose to being an ego and something that's simply aware of itself, somewhat sentient. But when we become conscious or conscient, what's that word? That small voice in the ear. Conscience. It's the border. It's the tri-state point. Arkansas, Mississippi, and Memphis, and Tennessee. It's that center spot where they're all true, but there's a nucleus. And this is the marriage between the lower and higher self, heaven and earth. This is where the magic happens. It's the consciousness shift that is happening now. It's the great shift. Or back to the Center of Light Foundation. Tonight we're speaking about consciousness and the great shift of it. Push is coming to shove it. It's been happening for a while and it's going to happen for a while. Sounds like a bad affirmation. It is not. It's what needs to happen. Basically, poop or get off the pot. And this is all we got left. is to become consciously aware and aware of consciousness. When I was taking the song break, I had another part of the program, which I still may do, that was coming out shortly. But when I went to the restroom, the little boys' room where I get my inspiration, something said to play this presentation I did, at least for a little bit. So I will do that because it feels like I need to. As to why it's going to dovetail this dance between awareness and consciousness and conscious awareness and everything that we can become aware of as the lower self to the higher self, which is full-blown heaven, conscious, earth awareness. This is from a presentation I did recently or sometime back called The Gift of Solitude. I'll see you shortly. Happy holidays, you beautiful, sexy human soul. Being by yourself. For a long time. How long, Keith? You'll know when. However long it takes. Gift of solitude. Aloneness. Alone. Seclusion. Privacy. Stillness. Peace. Separation. In this context. Seclusion. I did say seclusion. Being alone. For those who live alone are often, more so than not, by themselves. If they're good at it, they'll tell you there's nothing like it. Hello, Kelly. Solitude, privacy, silence, no talking, no story. A lot like that empty space I'm demonstrating. Be it working in your garden, playing a guitar, prayer, that empty space, meditation. Simply turning the world off. And I don't mean going into a meditation. I'm talking about being by yourself on purpose. That way you will be in purpose, purposefully you will find yourself. But sometimes, when the noise gets a little too loud in the world, and we get addicted to the world, or a person, the universe says, and you have no choice but to hear it. In fact, it doesn't say anything. It's been saying it. Now it's going to do something about it. And life partner, so you thought, both of you thought, ends. And you find yourself in that place. And that place, I've been there for 2 years. It's not fun. It makes you want to get out of it. Stay in it. A dark night of the soul is where you're going to find the light. So what darkness is it? It's not a darkness that you're really in, per se. It's you. Scared, alone, afraid, broken. And you want to bawl your eyes out. Good. Bawl your eyes out. Purge your soul. That's been poisoned by the outside world and needing things, other people, and or a person to be your savior or your saving grace. If you do that strong enough, hard enough, you will find yourself in a very hard place. Rough, tough, and gruff. There's no way out except you finding your way in. This is how you win. Solitude, the gift of it. That dark night of the soul, I didn't like it, I wanted out. But it was forcing me to stay inwardly. Not because I'm Mr. Spiritual guy, It just kept me in this place until I worked my way upward, which is inward, forward, toward letting the old thing go, completely letting it go, surrender. One of the greatest benefits of solitude and the gift you will receive because of it and from it and through it is surrender. Going back to that which is tender. Solitude. Well, Keith, I'm okay by myself. I just don't like to be by myself. I call horse hockey. If you truly know what it's like to be alone, I'm not meaning lonely. There's a big difference between alone and lonely. Alone means I'm by myself. Lonely means I'm by myself, but I need something else. Reflect inside. You can do it in this moment. How often are you alone? Maybe start going out a couple times a week, whatever is your way, and go do something you've been wanting to do that's not busy. It's important that you're not busy. Tonight is Center of Light. Me. It's about me. This is speaking from your point of view. It's about me. Me. If I don't have enough money in my checking account, if I write a check to someone because I want to do a good deed indeed is not what's going to happen because the check is going to bounce. It's temporary. Can we permanently fix ourselves into a better possibility? One way to find that sweet surrender is to pray like a lover, not a beggar. Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight, the Center of Light Foundation Consciousness, the Great Shift. Wow, it sounds amazing. Where are we going? We're not going anywhere except further within, and that's our choice to jump into that kind of spin. My sister Andrea Forrest is rocking graphic. Yeah, it looks pretty cool and it's fun. So we're discussing going from here to there. Consciousness, the Great Shift. Right now we're in the ground is fertile. How many hurdles are you jumping? Keep jumping them. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be jumping hurdles. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is the engine. Awareness is the driver. Consciousness is always behind the scenes. Awareness is in front. Consciousness is the observing one, and awareness is the one observing. But often we get into swerving and curving down these roads, these meandering roads of life. Consciousness is the ever expansive, all that is, forever will be, existence of anything that can ever be. Awareness is the one that says, I see that consciousness is the infinite expansion of awareness of all that will ever be, foreverly, and all those things. So in this way, beautiful, powerful way, even if you get a glimpse of that, oh, I understand that. Wow! You've exploded into this beautiful possibility. And you tasted it, even for a glimpse, did you not? That's why you went, wow, what is that? I am the one that's aware of consciousness. And you go, so likewise in this example is, if the universe has an edge, that's awareness. Consciousness is what lies beyond the outermost edge. Wow! And then that thing begins to happen. You keep playing with this Rubik's Cube, you will crack the code, lawnmower man or lawnmower woman. Consciousness. It's not per se Oz, the man behind the curtain, but it really is the man or woman behind the curtain. That's for certain. There is a presence behind the curtain. Said another way, the veil. And awareness is very important. It's beautiful, but it really pales in comparison to what consciousness is. Awareness is the active. Consciousness is always there. The passive. It's not even a passive, really. It's just there. It's just present. It's is. It's this and that forever. And then from consciousness as the pinnacle, the core, in the core there is no noise. It's silent in the core. And consciousness, even though it seems like it's here, the core, let's use it up here. Consciousness would be the apex of this. Everything's backwards, so it's awkward. Pyramidal system, it's weird. I'm gonna get it, y'all. Anyway, it's the apex. And then as we move down in hierarchical means, we move to awareness. And then we move into I know, or so we think. And then we move even further down to I believe. And then we move down to I'm not sure. Or I don't believe, or I'm not sure. And then we move down to I don't believe. And then we move down to absolute unconscious awareness itself. That's where life gets a lot tough, rough and gruff. Consciousness is something. Andrea is laughing at my pyramid thing. Of course she would. So consciousness, it's the bed, the core of what was, is, or ever can be. And it's not really that linearly. You wipe out linear and then eternally you have is. That's the biz. That is consciousness. Awareness is sort of like if consciousness is the whole hand, God, the wholeness of all the individual parts. And the knuckles happen to be where God and humanity join in the conscious collective soul. So God is the whole, you are whole. But in our becoming individuals, from the Christ principle, the knuckles where everything connects and originates, we lost awareness of the true consciousness that is the soul. There is no hell, there is no damnation. Hell is our life gone wrong on any level. Heaven is our life gone right on any level as well. It's all self-induced, it's all self-fulfilled prophecy. If you follow the Christ, this is the way. Christ himself descended into hell, supposedly for 3 days. Came out smelling like a rose. So, if we are Christians, or whatever we are as Uns or Buddhist, we have to follow the teachers. You want to become a fireman, you do what firemen do. You don't become a fireman by doing what culinary chefs do. You probably become a little more culinary than the fireman itself. So consciousness is what you are. Awareness is what we thought, or maybe still think we are, that moves in degrees, in integrations into consciousness. This is the walk for every spiritual seeker, from every land, from any time, into any no time. You are aware. And now that I brought that to your awareness, pun intended, you're aware of your awareness now because you looked at yourself and go, Not only are you aware, because you can walk around and do your daily functions. When I turned your attention inward, you go, I am aware. What do you think that is? What do you think that is? It's deserving. I'm aware. So you do your daily things because you have a sentience about you. And then when I turned you inward, you became aware that you are aware. What is that? That's something you can't explain to anyone. But you know it did happen. And then when you come a little more integrated in sort of a model role, disposition, yearning, turning, burning, churning, for that's all you want, it turns within itself like a wheel, like a gyroscope. And it's alchemical. Yes, Andrea, it's alchemical. And it's also Weird Al Yankovic. It's about having that kind of fun, that kind of joy, that kind of crazy as a loon letting go. Sis bro, you will know from soul to bones that what you owns is something beyond just simple awareness and awareness of awareness, but using awareness as a vehicle to launch you not up, not down, not all around, but deeper in within yourself to become an explosion of creation itself. What do you think Jesus did? What do you think anything that does? A beautiful flower. You go plant a flower, a garden, be it vegetable. The first year, you might yield some fruit. And they're cute. But it takes a good couple of 3, 4, 5, whatever, however many years, depending on the particular species of plant, to get its groove on. Conscious awareness, becoming aware, turning within oneself, is likewise. Not only does it have to be a seed planted, it has to be watered, nurtured, germinate into a bud, sprout, blossom, open up, become a full-fledged flower, full-fledged bush, gardenias. Oh my dear Lord, magnolias. Conscious awareness. There's a great shift happening right now. It looks like it's outside. I'm telling you. It is. It looks very convincing, and it is convincing. And it is true. So the outside of the world is your awareness that this is happening. Wow, we're in a great shift right now. Crazy stuff happening in the world. That's your pinpoint center focal point of awareness of what's happening out here. Consciousness is what's happening here as the one who is taking in, observing the all that's happening, but becoming aware of itself that I'm just simply taking in what's happening. This is the consciousness, and this is your awareness of whatever is going on. And when you become aware of that what's going on from this perspective, it turns within itself and you become conscious, and consciousness itself. They shake hands, but on the extremes, they are separate until they fall into the gray area, the 50 shades of gray, hello, or the gradation where they begin to dovetail and coalesce into this, where we come from all those days, simply just being aware, ugh, lana zug zug aduk, to becoming somewhat aware of ourselves, to where we find ourselves now, having everything we can possibly ever want at our disposal. Beam me up, Scotty. We went from an awareness like a shark, just having some sort of faculties about ourselves, to, here's rock. I use big rock. I crush stone. I crush stone, make two. I crush shells, get animal out, I eat. And now we're doing all these magical feats. It's evolution, it's resolution, it's revolution. It's evolution. We're moving into a beautiful space. from simply awareness to become really aware, to full-blown aware, until we melt so much into consciousness we lose awareness of we thought everything was consciousness. Happy holidays. You are loved beyond measure. If you have not found Center of Light Foundation on Roku yet, go to Roku, look up searching channels or channel search, and type in Center of Light Foundation. Please select it and add it to your Roku list of watching. But also give me multiple to the what's the word I'm looking for? The hilt. Thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Happy holidays. Be good to yourself. A lot of consciousness has been offered here for myself by just falling into this space of using a camera and a microphone and all this technology just to become aware of myself through this dance I call you and I hanging out. So I appreciate you for that. Become aware of your issues, your stuff, your BS. Don't judge yourself for it. Become aware. And in the light of awareness is what starts the dance. You get really good at refining this process. Perchance, we all will make it in this lifetime. Peace, love, and you're the light.